Greeting Pisces, here are your October horoscopes. So, oh my goodness, like September really blurred the lines between dreams and reality, and October is going to be the same, but now you get to actually write the script, Pisces. As a Pisces rising, I am worn out. Like, how dare this happen? Like, how dare all of these things happen all at once? So many chaotic things. Like, it took me so long to even record this video, Pisces, because there's just so many things going on in my life that I'm responsible for that I must really take the time to go through. And so, I can talk about this all day with you, Pisces, because we already know what's going on underneath the surface. Like, oh my goodness, like, why would you put me in this life to have to do the things that I have to do, right? Let me go to sleep. Anyways, Pisces. So, October. On October 6th, we have Mercury entering into Scorpio in your natal ninth house. And so Mercury is lighting up the ninth house of higher learning, philosophy, and these longer distance connections. And your mind is expanding, is really hungry for meaning and wisdom and truth and depth. And it's really like hungry for the need to study, the need to teach, the need to share your ideas and inspire others. There can be communications that are had around justice and that are centered around spirituality and or the bigger picture of life. And this is really an excellent time to publish, to write, to explore new studies and even long distance travel and connections with foreign places can really become important during this time. It's like you are more inclined to dig deep into philosophical ideas or spiritual topics that really challenge your worldview and expand your perspective, Pisces. On October 7th, full moon in your second house in Aquarius. And so this brings financial matters to the forefront. How do you feel about yourself to the forefront? And you can feel like you have reached a turning point when it comes to income, when it comes to resources, when it comes to self-worth, and even the financial project that maybe you've been working on and comes to a fruition, or you realize that your energy has been out of balance when it comes to your own values. This lunation can bring you or push you to release these financial habits that actually drain you and commit to a more greater self-reliance. And it is about confidence, and mostly is about confidence. How you feel about yourself, how you value yourself is really reflected on how others value you, Pisces. And this is something that you have to remember. And so you have to stand firmly in your worth, and you have to attract things that, in order to like attract things more effortlessly, you have to know what you're worth. And this doesn't always have to do with money. This can just have to do with the fact that you are the priest, you are the priestess, you are a very magical being. And no matter which way that you try to go, you will always be turned back to the real divine within yourself, and how you are the expression of light and oneness and all of these great selfless things that we have, right? But on October 13th, Venus is going to enter into your eighth house of shared resources and finances. So this moves over any like deeper bonds that have to do with like joint resources, and even, things that we are entangled with other people, whether it's like trauma bonding, whether it's relational, whether it's, psychological, the ties that we have with people, that we're intimate with. And this is Venus in the eighth house brings a little bit more intimacy. Like there's a deep desire for emotional and physical connection, and even financial. I think this is a positive transit that have to do with investments and even negotiations and these even joint ventures. You can benefit through a partner's resources, or receive through loans or inheritances, or through other shared assets, whatever, if you have shared resources with the next person, you can benefit from them. But remember, there is a full moon in your sign beginning of the month, and well, the second house, which is opposite the eighth house. So you still want to ensure your own, that you feel good about your own, say your own financial entanglements. You have to feel good about yourself. You can't rely on, be codependent on other people's abilities to share with you. However, this is a transit that's really gonna like soften your fears and help you embrace transformation through like this greater grace, or having more grace with yourself, and realizing that you honestly you do receive from other people, and it is very beneficial for you, but that shouldn't make you lose worth within yourself, Pisces. So on October 14th, Pluto is going direct into your 12th house, and boom, bada bang. This is a house of you, hidden matters to your subconscious, and deepening your inner journey, towards the self. And since Pluto has entered Aquarius, you have been undergoing these purifications, when it comes to like your inner world, and you've been shedding these unconscious fears, these karmic baggages that you have had. And I think that for life, I mean, I would say for life, but really not for life, but for a long period of time. I mean, if you choose to ignore it, you could be facing, um, in my opinion, you could be facing a lot of karmic, how do you say, karmic entanglements if you are unwilling to understand that you have come here to clear your karma, and you have to start with that in order to develop as a person. And so Pluto in the 12th house, in the next 20 years is going into your first house, so you're still going to be alive. It's 444 right now, so you must build on the authentic self in order to for it to be expressed outward. If you don't know who you are, other people will continuously tell you who you are. So Pluto in the 12th house going direct is reminding you like, hey, you have to be authentic, and you have to develop these certain spiritual tendencies that help you, you really get a map to who you are, or who you want to be in this lifetime, right? There's is a profound, like, you're undergoing this profound purification of your inner world, and you're shedding these old unconscious fears, as I said, and now you're trying to harness this transformative energy. And so hidden truths can come to light, and it's guiding you towards liberation, and it's guiding you towards healing, and these spiritual practices that you need to put in place. Pisces, dream work, shadow work are emphasized, and the power of your inner world is awakening, and you have to embrace it. I have been having dreams. I've always had dreams my whole life, but the dreams like during this eclipse season have been just crazy, like on topic. Like, I almost feel as though I'm not even here anymore. I'm just like visiting this realm, and I'm just like in a limbo between this reality and the next reality. Is like the dreams are so powerful that I don't know whether I'm astral projecting, lucid dreaming, visiting the ancestors. There's so many things happening, but what I do know is that these dreams are trying to tell me something, and they're have been spot on. Like I have experienced something like this when I was a child, but of course, we go through things in life and we shut off our gifts and powers. Now they are truly awakening, especially with the eclipse that just happened in your sign, and you have to embrace it, even though it may feel like what is going on. There's just like so much I can say about that, but I'm not going to hold you for so long, Pisces. Let's talk about you and what's happening in your life. So October 20th, Mercury is going to conjunct Mars in your natal ninth house. And so your words and beliefs take this fiery edge. You are compelled to speak out about injustice and defend your beliefs and push your ideas into the public sphere. So I think yes, Mars, because Mars is the traditional ruler of Scorpio. I think that this is a potent time for debates, writing, teaching. However, it's also easy to become like confrontational and like just dogmatic, like repeating the same thing. So you have to channel this energy into, or a mental focus as well, into like pursuing knowledge and publishing, and advancing your vision, with passion, with precision. You know what I'm saying? But I do think, like I keep saying, I do think yes, because the sun is going to into the ninth house as well, a little later on in the month. And this, you have to say what you feel, say what you believe, and you have to study. You have to really, even if you have to study, you do have to say what is real to you. You have to stand on your ideas, and you have to stand on what the experiences that you live in life. You've created a system. You need to really embody that system, even if it doesn't make sense to other people. And 9 times out of 10, it isn't. Your ninth house is in Scorpio, right? And so the new moon that's happening in Libra in your eighth house on October 21, this offers a um clear intimacy, right? This is a perfect time to like set intentions about healing, even healing fears around vulnerability, around intimacy, around building trust with relationships and restructuring, what do you call it? Like finances that are tied to others. You may begin a new phase in a partnership, whether it's financial, whether it's emotional, and this requires you to surrender and trust more deeply. I think that this new relation asks you to let go of control and to let go and try to step into this deeper inner, how do I say, like interconnectedness with others and with your own power. In all reality, if you are in a relationship, if you're with someone, if you are intimate with someone, you are intertwined with them, you have an influence on them. So, there's just a lot of things that tie into the eighth house that has to do with sexuality. That, like, if you have sex with a person, you are pumping energy into them as they're pumping energy into you. We are all very intertwined. And so a lot of things can't happen if you're not intertwined with it, Pisces. You know what I'm saying? And you have to really understand your own power, excuse me, and how even though other people have their power, you have power as well. That one is really, like that one's really, I wouldn't say that it's hard to get, but because it's in Libra, it's very much like the other person. Yes, the other person, but you have to understand your second house too. Your second house is independent. Your second house is, I was gonna do it anyway. But it's nice to work with another person to get it done, and that's that push and pull we have with the second. So Neptune is actually leaving the second on October 22nd. Neptune is in Aries and is retrograding back into Pisces. Is retrograding back into your first house to give you a slap on the back or a little slap on the butt. And it's like, hey, remember me, remember all your divinity, remember how you can see through fantasies, remember all of the things that I've taught you. And so this marks a long cycle, like a long cycle. Neptune has been in your sign for so long, and it's been confusing. It's been, confusing around your worth, around your value, around your identity. And now, even if you struggle with boundaries around your worth, yourself, how you look, and all of these different things, there's now it's going back to teach you, like, hey, you're not even real anyway. You are in a vessel, and you have to gain some type of clarity and ground yourself. And some practical solutions become easier to see. And I think that it has to do with remembering your sense of worth, how to feel more grounded. Neptune talks about a lot of those spiritual, like, practices that we can get into to feel more grounded, like meditation, like, sun gazing, like walking barefoot, releasing ions. There's so many different things for you to get into, Pisces. And you have been in many different things. And even if it's just screaming and talking to trees, there is a way that you feel more grounded in this life. And so there is this subtle shift that comes to it's opening space for this greater stability in yourself and your finances and your self-esteem, but more importantly, like in your own creative power. Neptune is the god that wants you to feel compassion and love and all of these different things, and we need those things in order to survive. We are ruled by Neptune as well. And so October 23rd, the sun is going to enter into your ninth house. And so here's where it brings illumination to, not, excuse me, it brings, yeah, illumination. I think that's the word. And what's the other word that? Lunation, but illuminating. Yes, I'm saying illuminating. Okay, see, like, wow. These words are fumbling, but it brings a spotlight to your beliefs, your education, and to how you see this world. The sun in the ninth house really asks you to shine through teaching, through learning, through exploring, your spiritual body, your higher self. You're really called to embrace these new experiences that really stretch your mind and spirit. I always say, for Pisces rising, if you don't feel like if you feel depressed, if you feel like you're being sucked under by Neptune's tides, you must travel. You must go somewhere, even if it's just short term travel. You really must go somewhere. You must look at water. You must just get involved in art. You need music. You need anything that has to do with artistry. So the sun here is going to boost your confidence when it comes to sharing your truth, and don't be shy, or try not to be shy or step away from roles where your wisdom can actually guide others, because it can Pisces. You have to really remember that you are the priest and the priestess of the zodiac, right? This is your first house. And so on October 23rd, Mercury is going to conjunct Lilith in Scorpio. Oh, absolutely. I mean, this is pushing you to challenge any type of traditional belief system that you may have hold within your body, or other people think, or even anything that people think are normal. That's not normal, which is a lot of things that's not normal, but people trying to normalize. You feel compelled to speak out against truth that other people shy away from. And this can be very empowering, but also it can be potentially, it definitely can be influential, but it's like, there's a give and take, right? Like some people are not willing to see that, hey, um, that thing that you've been talking about, and you've been taught your whole life, actually doesn't make sense. Shouldn't you look at it? Shouldn't you gain control over your own perspective? Shouldn't you like be honest with yourself and just stop thinking what other people are thinking? So this is the time. So it's like it's like give and take. It's like you have to embrace your authentic expression, but remain open to dialogue rather than like forcing your ideas, because you have to understand, like, if they've been thinking that their whole life, then they don't really see what's wrong with it. Even though there's like 10 things they just said that was wrong with it, they don't see it yet. And it isn't the ninth house isn't about like making people believe you. It's about preaching your own beliefs based off your own experience, and others can learn from them. So October 26th, Mercury is going, Mercury, yes, a couple days later, but Mars is now going to conjunct Lilith in Scorpio. I mean, wow, this this brings, Mars is the traditional ruler of Scorpio, and so it brings this uncompromising action into the pursuit of knowledge, or the pursuit of wisdom. Like I said, this brings boldness, but you have to be very careful, where it's like, even though you said 10 things wrong and you don't hear it and you don't see it, it's not even your lived experience. Like, you're just preaching from something that you don't even know. You're just saying what Tom said, and what Tom said doesn't even make sense. Tom doesn't even know what he said. He got it from someone else. And so you can feel really rebellious towards speech and towards just the things that other people say, whether it's this like external control illusion that people, that they have up, or, this is really just about trying to forge your own path of truth and spiritual freedom. And you have to channel this energy into like this courageous exploration of ideas, or writing, or activism. And this is a warrior type of energy, but you have to understand that this is a warrior energy for your higher calling. It's actually for you, and those that will learn from you will learn from you, and those that just stay, in this one belief system their whole life, that's where they're going to stay until they learn to move to the next level. It's actually not you don't have to move. Everyone's not going to move with you, Pisces. Okay. So on October 29th, Mercury is going to enter into Sagittarius in your 10th house. And this shifts your focus to professional matters, to conversation with like authority figures, and maybe career planning, or even future planning, or just um, any type of public visibility that you may have can be emphasized. Like, this is a powerful time to like speak up, about the things that you believe, or even about the ideas that you hold. Just be more optimistic when it comes to negotiation, when it comes to like your whole life direction. And this is like you aligning to your goals, to your vision, and your reputation is really built through words now when Mercury's in the 10th house. And be mindful of how you're communicating. This is a transit that really supports any type of professional clarity or recognition as well. So, October is a month of deep transformation for you, Pisces. Spiritual clarity definitely comes, and this expansive, new beginning. And even because like one of your rulers, Neptune, is actually moving back into your sign, is moving this month, so you can feel a slight subtle shift. But because it is your ruler, I think you might feel like you're gonna feel something absolutely change, but you'll feel more aligned to like your values and more clear in your finances. And it's going to be at a very critical degree. So, be ready to step into your higher path with confidence, Pisces. And so, yes, that's all I have for the month of October. I hope that was helpful. Definitely like, comment, subscribe, please. And I'll see you guys on the next video. Bye, Pisces.